So let's paint Annie Apple together in a fabulous loose style. Have you got your kit ready? Big Brian's ready, so am I. So come and join me and let's get going. So let's get started, folks. So we're going to do Annie Apple, where she is. Nice big juicy red apple. So what we've got to do is simple drawing, and then we've got to get some simple easy colours on, limited palette as we call it, just a few colours. We're going to throw those on and we'll see how it goes. So are you ready to start? Yes, fabulous. So this is the start of the journey, guys, and let's get going. So we're starting with the propelling pencil, Peter the propelling pencil. Hold him nice and loosely, not too tight, not too near the end. What we're going to do is draw out the simple shapes to start with. So let's put a dot at the top for the height of the apple, a dot at the bottom for the bottom of the apple, and then we're going to put a 1 for the width either side, and then we're going to put a few little dots just to guide us to get that shape. Now it's not circular, it's just slightly off circular. So there are my dots. Let's start with a little V shape at the top. That's where the core is going to be. I'm going to take the drawing around. So I'm only doing it in little steps. Yeah, tiny little steps. Easy peasy apple strudel. Terrible with rhymes, but we're joining these up. And because we've put those simple dots in position, we get it almost straight away. So just go from one dot to the next, and there you've got it. There's your apple shape. So well done you. So now we're on to the core, or the stem. So there's the core, that's where it goes in. Let's see how high the stem goes. Let's say to about there. From there, dot in the middle, little line down, and again I'll just break that into two. Little line across, and back we go down. So there is the stem. Yeah. Oh, you're doing so well. Fabulous. What about a little leaf? So let's start that about there, not right in the centre. Let's join it there. Take a little line out, and then let's take it out to about there. Decent sized leaf. So again, we know the centre of the leaf is going to be there, so we want to take a few dots over the top and under as well. Join those together. What have you got? Everything you need. So there is our simple drawing, guys. Simple, straightforward, no messing about. So let's have a little break and then we shall get some paint on. Okay, so we're ready to rumble with the paint. So this could be the first time you've painted in this fashion or painted at all, so fantastically well done for trying, and you're doing so well. So we've got the drawing. We're going to use Big Brian, the big synthetic 16 brush, ready to go. Right, we're going to need some water for a start, so we dip the brush about half into the water, and then we're going to put some onto the apple, onto the left hand side. So start at the top, drag a little line round, so it's not a thin line, it's about the width of the brush. Then we drag another one, we're leaving a little gap where no water goes, and that's going to be the shine. Put a little bit over the top there and leave it about there. So this is all dry, this is all wet. Yep. Let's go back into the water, and we're going to go in with Sap Green for a start, which is this one. We've got it all laid out, we showed you how to prepare that earlier. Put the brush in the end of the water and just go backwards and forwards. Yeah. Make it quite thick, so it's almost like coffee strength. Yeah. Imagine the strength of coffee. So we're going to put this in the top. So we're just going to dab that down. You see how it just floats around where the water is, but it doesn't float where the water isn't. Yeah, so just take that over the top, down a little way, and you see this just cascading down. So rather than getting too involved in that, let's wash the brush off. Big Brian, go for a swim there, spin it against the side, dab it onto your tissue paper, and then we're going to pick up our next colour, which is Cadmium Red, which is a sort of mid-red. And if you've not got these exact colours, do not worry, just use the colours that you've got. Let's mix a nice coffee strength thickness again, get plenty of it, nice and liquid. So let's start just where the green's got to. We'll just put the brush down, don't move it about too much, and keep going and pick a bit more paint up. And just bring these down, more paint, even more paint, yeah, plenty of it. And at the top we can do little dots and dashes, and these will float back up into the green. More paint. We'll bring this down to the bottom. I'm just leaving this corner at the moment because I'm going to put a darker colour there. So let's clean the brush off. He likes swimming, does Big Brian. Look at him diving in. This time we're going to use mauve. So again, mix a nice bit of mauve, coffee strength. Let's bring this round. So we're bringing it in the shape of the apple. Just dropping those colours in, and a bit more mauve on this side. So we just drop it, and this means this side's darker, this side's lighter. I'm just going to go back and add a little bit more mauve to the top on the green. Yeah, but again, because it's wet, it just does it for you. You could actually go and have a nice cup of tea, coffee, nice glass of champagne if you're that sort of in that sort of mood, and when it comes back it's all painted. So how simple is that? Right, while we've got Big Brian, we've cleaned him off, we're going to do the leaf. So I've got a little bit of water, not too much, just a bit, and at the top edge of the leaf, I'm going to say Big Brian, the leaf, just a bit of water, and that's it. Leave that dry, that's wet. I'm going to start with Sap Green Coffee Strength, dab it in. If you just dab that in, you'll see it eventually find its own way. It'll go over the top and down, but we'll do that another day. So we've got the green on, that's dry, so it's not going to roll down there. Clean the brush. And what about a nice dark blue or mid dark blue? This is Ultramarine Blue. Yeah, it's a mid to dark blue. I'm going to put this on at the bottom. So we dab that in, start at the green, drag that down and join at the bottom. Yeah, so again, those two will bleed together. You don't have to mix it, you don't have to do nothing at all. It's all done for you. So I'm going to change brushes now to Miss Rigger. So this is the size 6 Rigger brush. It's one of the favourites. They're all favourites really. So now we're going to do the stem. So we're not really going to put any water on that. We're going to mix some cadmium red with some mauve, so mixed in the middle. Just pop across to each one to get it where you want it, so it looks sort of light brown. I'm going to start at the top and I'm just going to put a little blob of colour, yeah, and that's what I call my little reservoir of colour. I'm going to drag this down, not in one big swoop, and slowly just building it up, yeah. And I might even put a few dots in the top so it looks like a nice reflective glow. Get a bit more, and what I'm going to do now is just going to grow a little stem into this leaf. Drop a bit in the bottom of the leaf, thicken that up, and that is about it. So far guys, there is your apple floating about, doing its own thing. So now I've got a bit of magic. Do you like magic? So do I. What we're going to do now is we're going to put a surface underneath, something for it to stand on. So I'm just going to get a clean Big Brian. He's had a nice scrub up while we were waiting. What I'm going to do at the bottom, I'm just going to get a bit of water. I'm going to drag it towards the apple. I'm going to go underneath the apple and then carry on. So it's an imaginary straight line either side of the apple, underneath, make it a bit thicker or deeper, and now the magic is I just touch the colour. Just touch the colour, and look at that, bleeding into the water. So wherever the water is, the paint will flow. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Yeah, and you have done that. So now I've got a tiny bit of water on my brush again, no paint, look. But now I can just run my brush through that paint, and what it will do, it will pick up the pigment, and this will give a really soft shadow effect underneath any apple. Yeah? Now you could almost just sit and watch that all day long. But we're artists, we've got things to do. So what I'm actually going to do is get a little bit of scrunged up tissue. So I've scrunged it up, torn it off, and where there's excess paint, so just along this edge, you can see where it's built up, I'm just going to dab the tissue in, hold it there for a second maybe, and then pick off the excess paint. Then I'll get a fresh bit, scrunge it up, tear it, and wherever there's some more, just pick it off. Yeah? And again, each time I tear it, because you transfer in one colour to another, a bit on the leaf. That's it guys. That is all I want to do. So that will slowly dry, but all of the colours you put in are melding and welding and dancing together and creating some beautiful shapes. So you've not really painted a great deal, you've dropped it on and it's found its own way. So well done to you guys. You've done a fantastic job. This is your first painting, or one of your first paintings. So what I would do is sign your painting. So I'm going to sign it with a brush, but if you're not too dexterous with it yet, sign it with a pencil. I put my signature on, my surname, so I know I did it. And then also you can put on the date. So whatever date it is that you're doing this, write that on and keep this. So even if you're not 100% happy with it, keep it, because it's great reference for the start of your painting journey. And believe me, you'll keep looking back and you'll see your progress through this fabulous, interesting and beguiling hobby. And I know you will love it. So keep everything, look back, compare, and you will grow amazingly quickly. So well done again guys, and we'll meet again very, very soon.